James, I, I'm, I see this nice body of water out there. What do you think? I'm thinking we should go in. It might be fun.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It might be a little cold though, so I'm gonna just dip my toe
Is
in
it
to make
cold?
sure it's okay. We want to make sure it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Let's just dip. Oh, it is definitely cold.
That's too cold even for me.
It's too cold. Maybe if we go in like really slowly, that will be better.
That
Okay,
always works, right?
That always works out, right. Just don't let the belly. No. I don't know, James.
No.
Okay, here we go. Let's hold hands. Okay. If you go in, I'm gonna go in.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Well, I'm kind of waiting on you.
Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Tomorrow.
Right. It's a deal.
So, who relates most to the cliff jumper? Who relates most to James and I? Well, even the cliff jumper paused, didn't they? After all, it's nice to wait until all the conditions are just perfect before we go all in. It's good to make sure everything is lined up, figured out, that we're going to be safe, that there's no sharks, that we will be okay. And listen, let's face it, few of us would be here today if our parents had waited for those perfect conditions to bring us into the world. True? And few cutting-edge inventions would have manifested or incredible relationships been experienced. Nor would many nonprofit organizations and communities exist if people had spent too much time walking around the edge of the pond, dipping their toes in, waiting for everything to be comfortable and easy and just right. Perhaps best said by the author William Murray in his 1951 book, The Scottish Himalayan Expedition. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Until one is committed. Now, I don't think things would have gone well for our cliff jumper if they would have only been partially committed to the task, or if halfway down they changed their mind. And yet, being all in for anything in our lives can feel scary. Or maybe it's more accurate to say that contemplating being all in can feel scary, right? I'm sure you have many of you have places in your lives right now where you feel as if you're standing on the edge of that cold pond, pausing, wondering if you're gonna go all in. Maybe you're contemplating applying for that job you always wanted but are secretly afraid to get. Or you're at the edge of a deeper commitment in a relationship. Or you're wondering how much to commit to that book you always wanted to write. Or that health goal that you have. But it isn't just those big decisions, those big threshold moments that invite us to go all in. All in opportunities are all around us. In her book, Practicing Presence, Phyllis Colday writes this. She says, each of us has a threshold moment whenever we encounter another human being, any human being. That moment of encounter is a moment of decision. We can either commit to giving the other person our full attention and compassionate attention, or we can choose to, as she puts it, stay home within the confines of ourself. Okay, it's time for a quiz. So there you are, surrounded by 5, maybe 10 other people, joined together in common purpose, all available for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes as you wait for the barista to call your name. And do you, A, Strike up a conversation and offer your compassion and attention to the person beside you, or B, go all in with your phone. The truth seems to be that wherever we go, we are always on the rim of some all-in opportunity. And yet we spend a lot of time circling around, dipping our toes in. And as we ponder and procrastinate, life keeps asking us over and over in different ways, doesn't it? It asks, so are you gonna go all in or what? What are you waiting for? Are you gonna commit and trust what comes next? Wait a second, trust what comes next? But what if I'm the only one that goes all in? I mean, what if I'm left alone? Like when I was 10 and I tried to give that high five to the popular kid and was left hanging. Well, I'm not going to tell you that that's not going to happen because you know what? It does happen. But my experience also aligns with what William Murray's conviction is when he writes this next. He says, concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elemental truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves in. Call it providence, grace, momentum, the natural order of things. Pick your favorite wording. Murray continues, all sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. Have you experienced this? A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidences, meetings, material assistance, which no person could have dreamed that would have come their way. How many people have had that experience where you really went all in and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you meet that person or that thing comes. Often our hesitancy, our fear is more about our self-doubt. We mostly know what we want, and we mostly know what we want most, as I talked about last week. We just mostly hesitate to commit to it. But as the self-described black lesbian mother warrior poet Audre Lorde once wrote, when I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. Should I read that again? When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. I spoke last week about the choices you all make to be here, how the amount of all in some of you give sometimes defies reason. And though we pride ourselves as Unitarian Universalists to be a people of reason, I hope more than reason that we are a people of heart and that we are a people of commitment. That we are a people who dare to be powerful and use our strength in service to our vision. As the minister here, I care deeply about you being all in. Not because when lots of you are all in, we will create something big and beautiful and wonderful here in this congregation, although surely that will happen. But what I really care about is you having that feeling right there at the top of the cliff when you feel focused, aligned, clear, engaged, strong. You know your vision, you know what you want. and you're not deterred by your fear. I care about you feeling like you are part of something larger than yourself because I know that by leaning in fully to who you are and what your heart values, you are going to have the thrill of your life. That thrill doesn't happen way back from the edge, does it? We talk all the time about how we do not have a creed, a set of beliefs that you must attest to as Unitarian Universalist, and that you do not have to do any specific thing, any rituals or confessions. And this is true. Although, Bruce, I do want to hear your confession a little bit later. But that's just between us. But to really be a Unitarian Universalist, I do believe you must be something. You must be that person who knows how to live on the edge of transformation, your own and society's. Despite the fear that may arise, you must be that person that knows how to go all in anyway. That's our creed. That's what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist. Now, what that looks like for each person is, of course, different at different times in your lives and in different places. But I believe you know in this place, at this time, what it means for you. Here at Emerson, as part of this chosen family, whether you've been coming here for years or this is your first time, we offer many all-in opportunities. Here for us, all in looks like committing to Sunday morning worship and being present for each other, whether here or online, because committing to being together is what community is all about, even when our comfy beds and jammies might try to tell us something different. Here, all in is setting a priority to contribute your time and your talent to help sustain and co-create the community. Here, all in is ensuring you are doing those things that nurture your own spiritual growth. I have to repeat that. All in also includes you nurturing yourself. Here, all in is committing to being aware of and engaged with justice building, supporting our partner organizations, and taking action to create the world you want. And here, all in is, and given that today's topic is Stewardship Sunday, you knew this was coming. Here, all in is also contributing to the financial viability of your community, for yourself, for others, and as Jillian Scow so eloquently described last week, for those yet to come through our doors. Now, on your tables, you're going to find some interest sheets, these little sheets on your tables. They have some colors to them. And I'm going to invite you to take one and fill it out at some point this morning. You will see there's different sections. The section for your spiritual nurturance, for your community participation, for your social justice participation. And I'm going to encourage you to fill this out, to check off both the areas that you currently are involved in and the ones that you have desire to be involved in. And then to review that for yourself and sit back and consider, is there balance? Is all I'm doing community participation and committee work and I'm not doing any spiritual nurturance? Am I focused on my spiritual nurturance but not taking action in the world? So use this as your own checklist, but if you would like contacted by one of these committees and invited to join a committee or a team or an activity, you can also fill these out and leave them with the greeters or on your tables, and we'll collect them, and someone will be in touch with you so that you can go all in. What any one person may give may not seem huge, but it all matters. Keep in mind, everything on these lists exists because someone or some group of someone's committed energy to creating it. And maybe there's some things not on this list that you would like to create. And if so, write those down. Although I did not officially focus on money today, this was indeed the official Stewardship Sunday sermon, often playfully referred to in these parts as the Sermon on the Mount. And so, I will end our service today with this blessing for you. This is written in some ancient scripture somewhere. Blessed are those on whose service we are founded. Blessed are the new ones whose decision to join us was in love grounded. Blessed are the congregants who keep this community going, and blessed is the stewardship team who know what they are doing. Blessed are those who make their pledge early, and blessed are those who give without worry. Blessed are those that stand on the edge of love's cliff, and blessed are those who commit to making a gosh darn diff. Blessed are those who know we are chosen kin, and blessed are those who hand in hand go all in. May it be so.